Hey everybody, welcome to the Jeremy Redmond Daily Show. Title in progress. I wanted to talk about something very special, very near and dear to me. I was listening to a podcast or something. I know for a fact this person speaking on this podcast was a grinder, a hustler. I'm not advocating for hustle porn and this kind of stuff. I don't want this to be a hustle porn play. Definition of hustle porn, Dave, so wherever here. Hustle porn definition. So I don't get in trouble. It's not porn. It's not actual porn, people. They were telling this story about how they grinded in their 20s and early 30s. And they didn't party and they didn't do these things. And I resonated with that message. I resonated with the message that I sacrificed a lot in my 20s. I didn't like partying. I didn't like alcohol. I didn't give a shit who wasteful friends were. I didn't want to. I didn't care, right? I was always scheming. I was always thinking about something. I was always reading something and messing around with WordPress or plugins or doing whatever it was. So for me, it was always building. It was always mental. I was always working and churning gears. And those are the people who I wanted to talk with every day, right? That's what I liked. I loved staying up, working. I like that. I don't end my day going, if I have one question I ask myself, have I made enough progress today? If the answer is yes, I've earned my rest. Go to sleep, young sire. Okay? Go to sleep. If I haven't, I will grind for another 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes. I don't even like calling it grinding, right? I don't like calling it that because it's not, I want to do it. It's just something I have to do for me. I have to progress. I have to get 1% better. All of these analogies and crap that people tell you. So I was on a podcast and he was telling a story about how he sacrificed in his 20s and early 30s. And he was looking back. And so he had made it. He's worth at least tens, probably hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And grinding. And there's a lot of story of this. And I know this person personally. He was like, oh, I would do things differently or enjoy those things earlier, or I wouldn't sacrifice that thing. And I'm like, you would not be, let's make this very crystal clear. Everyone in hindsight, there's nothing more clear than hindsight being 2020 or fucking 2010. Eagle vision, okay? Where people look back through the myopic lens of today, right? Lens day. They look back through that lens of today from 18 years ago and think, it was a different time, it was this, it was that. And go, man, if I knew what I knew then, and it's like, sorry, you didn't know what you knew then, and you needed to fucking figure it out, and you needed to fucking work 18 hours a day to figure that out, because part of it is speed. I spit on the camera. Leave that in, Dave, so there's scissor. I seriously believe it. And we talked about this earlier with the Jeremy's threshold mistakes. I don't know if I'm going to call that. But the threshold of mistakes, where you need to make your mistakes. You need to learn. You need to grow. You need to do these things. And you need to move fast. If you want to, and by moving fast, I mean 189 miles an hour a day, 12 hours a day for 8 years. I've been doing this grinding for 7, 8 years. Oof. Yeah. It's I still haven't got it, right? $1 million business, whatever. But so many people I have heard say, man, I was grinding, and grinding's not the way, and hustle's not the way. And it's like, dude, you would not be here to have that hindsight vision, that 2020 hindsight vision, had you not worked 14 hours a day for 7 years to get there. Why is it that everybody looks back and thinks they could have done it differently? Because it's not the truth in any fashion. This person worth, let's say, $103 million. Do I know that? I don't know. $100 million. Very, very, very successful. Exited a few companies. This person, I would gamble, only gotten there because of how hard they worked and how much they grind and how much they sacrificed. And here's why. Not everybody achieves what that person did achieve, because it takes a lot of sacrifice, and it takes a lot of sacrifice early. Not a lot of people want to sacrifice at 20, 21, 22, 23. Not a lot of people want to sacrifice the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday parties for 4 or 5 years in college. When you're fucking 19, 20, 21, 22. I didn't give a shit. I did. Like, I will reach my goals or die. So this person was like, man, I would do it differently. And I thought to myself, there's not a possible way he would do it differently. You can't. Because if you don't, think about it like a rocket ship.
At this point in our story, Jeremy goes down a rather lengthy path to explain an analogy comparing the effort required to launch a rocket from Earth's orbit to the effort required at the early stages of a startup.
Oh my God. What is happening?
It's a good analogy, just a long walk to get there. It can be summed up as follows.
I do believe the majority of the fuel in a rocket that takes people to the moon, the majority of the fuel is used just to reach escape velocity. The velocity needed to escape the Earth's gravitational force. So that is like saying the majority of the effort is just to do fucking a quarter of the journey, right? A fifth of the, whatever that is. Because you need a godlike force to lift you up. You need to essentially rise above the cream, rise above everyone else's gravitational force. This is getting all over the place, but I hope you know what I'm saying. It takes a He-Man Herculean effort to just get to that level, right? Everyone else gets dragged down by the gravitational force of reality. Okay. All right, now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with rocket fuel here. While everyone is held down by the gravitational force, you have got to find that jet fuel to get out of Earth's gravity. I'm imagining that's exactly how that sounds. It takes an ungodly effort to even get a quarter of the way there. And then it gets easier and easier and easier. Which is why they say pour on jet fuel, jet fuel, jet fuel, jet fuel. Just to get there. While I believe in hindsight, it's easy once you've made it to look back and go, yeah, like I could have did it differently knowing what I know now. You wouldn't know what you know now. Like that's the point of that. It's a very fucking privileged view of like getting somewhere. Or a way to hold other people down. So like, I don't know what everyone's agenda is, but if your formula for success does not involve working really fucking hard to get somewhere not a lot of people go, false. But let me know. Hindsight being 2020. What do you think? Do you think you can achieve 1% results not working that hard? Like, does anyone think that logic? That like you can become 1% of anything, of your field, by not working that hard? Because that's essentially what that is. I would like to hear from anybody that has worked or would admit, I did not work that hard. So like, let me know in the comments. Do you not work hard? And are you in the top echelon of your... I'm going to tell you right now, no one is commenting that. No one is writing that. So hindsight sucks.